Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Hopefully, today, I've got a working mic. I did test it before I came on, and I did see the little bars going to say that there was volume coming through. We'll know in a second. And I can hear myself. Excellent. So, how are we all doing today? Well, weather update, it's cold. My poor fingers today are cold. It's 13 Celsius at the moment. That's about 55 Fahrenheit. So very, very cold for me. Hopefully it'll warm up soon now. We had a really lovely day during the week and we were getting ever so excited, and then back down goes that temperature. Let's go back to the camera rather than focusing there on the screen. Let me just close that so I can actually see what's going on. And I'm going to jump into the comments. So, David E. Parsons. Hi, Gary. How are you doing? Just got back from the Dallas Pen Show, and it was great. I've just seen an email coming from you, David. I'll have a look at that after. Hope you enjoy it. I get so jealous of people being able to go to these pen shows. I really would love to be able to go to one in the States, but there's no way I'm going to be able to travel that far. And let me just, I don't know what I've just done there. I touched a button and my screens went funny. Atomic Elf 1, hello everybody. Blonde Scales 1, hello from Arkansas. Oh, there's this weird guy called Garry. I was just making sure if it was working today. Blonde Scales 1, lol. Alia Rose, hi from Connecticut, not Pennsylvania. Alia Rose there on a trip out. Tom Morley, hello folks. Marie, hi from Michigan. Tom Morley, to Blonde Scales 1, hello. Atomic Elf, hello from California, not Connecticut or Pennsylvania. Awesome. Andreas, good morning, afternoon or evening. Welcome to you from lovely, hopefully sunny east coast of Australia. Miss Marilyn Darling, hi everybody. Tom, hello from Atlanta, which is still recovering from Helene. I know, I was watching the coverage on that. It's awful what the weather can do. Ted Smith, hello everyone. Blonde Scales 1, by next weekend I'll have my first pen and ink subscription box, as well as the October mystery dip. Is that the gold spot ones? I haven't really been looking at them. I need to look at them a bit more, really, don't I? Atomic Elf 1, Marilyn, did you have a pen hub already? Tom, Elaine caused cancellation of the Atlanta Pelican Hub, and I'm very sad about this. I know, I bet you are. Hopefully, are they going to try and reschedule it once things have been cleaned up a bit? Marilyn, hi everybody. Alia Rose, I was in New York. Can't talk. I was in New York City 2 days ago and visited Yoseka Stationery and Fountain Pen Hospital. I got the loots, I bet you have. I think that would be the dangerous thing for me if I was to go into an actual physical store. I'm just going to turn this camera around a wee bit. I've got a new camera stand on order. Hopefully it'll be here for next week, which will hopefully try and sort out some of this really dodgy stuff that I'm doing. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm fetching my iPad for a second. What I'm going to do is take a photo of my setup and I'll show you it. Where's that camera gone? Oh, I hate what they've done in some respects. I'm still getting used to iOS 18. I've only had it on my iPad for about 2 months, and I'm still getting used to where things are. Camera. I don't know. This is really interesting, isn't it? Right. Ready? There you are. I'll give that a minute to sync over. Then I'll show it on the Mac. Let me just open the Photos app so I can see when it arrives. Photos begins with a P, doesn't it? Photos, there we go. I normally use keyboard shortcuts, but I don't want to be clickety-clackety. So back to the comments whilst we're waiting for that to come over. Ricardo, good morning, everyone from London. Welcome to you, Ricardo. I believe there's been a bit of bad weather in the UK as well this week. Tom, hello to Miss Marilyn Darling. Blonde Scales 1, we hear you. Marilyn, I did do the Pelican Hub. It was so good. My whole body is so awesome. Yeah, that's enough. So what I'm going to do, just going to quickly switch over to the screen again. So this is my current setup that I'm actually doing to record myself. I've got 2 notepads down here at the moment, 2 A5 notepads. On that, I've got this plastic box, which I use to store bits and pieces of junk. Above that, I've got this dodgy old stand, which I've had about 10 years. And it's as loose as anything. So if I shake or even touch that box, the camera goes like this and it goes to one side. So that's how I'm currently recording myself. What I've got on order is, and you can actually see there, I've got my laptop where I'm running OBS, which is the streaming software that I use. Then I've got my main screen up here, which is where I've got my chat window. You can see that green with the highlighted chat. And then various stats over here on the other side. And my keyboard and my iPad stand there. So let's go back to the camera. Have we gone back? Yeah, we've gone back to the camera. I'll just shut that down. We'll jump on in. Chris Robinson, good morning, Chris. Welcome to you. From Chris, 22 Celsius in Toowoomba, but the weather is weird. And I'm with you there. This time of year, I hate the weather. It's because it's that like swap over. And I suffer a little bit with my sinuses. As a kid, I used to suffer terrible. But it's only really when the weather's changing. My sinuses get all blocked, and you can imagine the pain from that. Marilyn, we got the new ink of the year and delved out a whole bunch of ink, and I came home with more things than I left with. Awesome. The black ink, Miss Marilyn Darling, can't talk. I haven't. Was it last week's Pens and News where you were doing all black inks, which was quite interesting? Ricardo, London Pelican Hub was very nice. Enjoyed it very much. Blonde Scales, Mystery Dip is Gold Spot. Subbots is from Truefay. Awesome. Tom, the Atlanta Pelican Hub master can't reschedule. Busy on weekends. So we don't get a Pelican Hub until next year. She's emailed swag to participants if they pay for postage. Hadley Rose, paying the postage is salt in the wound. Yes, I agree with that, but it's better than meeting, and better with all what was going on with that hurricane. Ricardo, raining cats and dogs for most of the week. Yeah, my daughter used a very different word when I spoke to her. She said it was going down, but I'm not sure what she was talking about. David E. Persons brought home 2 new pens from Dallas, including a Mont Blanc UNICEF donation fountain pen that I paid $300 US for. No kidding, it's beautiful and writes even more beautifully. Awesome. Co Mulder, hiya from Australia. Whereabouts in Australia are you? I live just south of Perth. And I know we've got Andreas is in Brisbane, and we've got Chris from Toowoomba. So we've got a little bit of representation from various different places. Blonde Scales 1. The dangerous thing from exploring new places to get fountain pens is I discovered Anderson Pens also carried vintage pens. I love watching their... they do a weekly video on YouTube. They used to do it as a podcast, but it hasn't come out as a podcast for a while. I just like the way they all seem to be so friendly and bounce off each other. But yeah, is it the vintage pens? Most of them are coming from... Oh, I forgot his name. David, I think it is, from his personal collection. David, that can be downright dangerous. Yeah, can be. Kurt Shepperton, So that's over in Victoria. Steve, welcome to you, Steve. First time watching, Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome to you. Hope you have fun. And Alia Rose, welcome, Steve. So there we go. That's all the comments so far. Let me just fetch up the next screen. What I'm going to do is jump on over to the screen again. So this week, the results of the tournament. So Sunday, the tournament video went out. It was the first lot of the under 100 Aussie dollars, but not Chinese. So we had the Fountain Pen Revolution Darjeeling, the Tasmanian Golden Sassafras. I love that name, Golden Sassafras. And the Platinum Preppy. So the results are in, and the winning pen this time is the Platinum Preppy. And I've got to be honest, I'm not surprised. That's the one I would have voted for. You know, as I like the Darjeeling, I like the Golden Sassafras, but the Preppy is just one that I reach for all the time. Good thing about this particular heat, though, I think the Darjeeling was the most expensive at $20. They were all fairly inexpensive pens. So let me just wake up the keyboard. So what we'll do is we'll take the Preppy. Hopefully that's right now. And that goes in as a first entry for that semi-final. And what I do, it doesn't tell me on YouTube how many people voted, so I do a little bit of maths to work it out. So there was 20 people voted for the Darjeeling, 16 for the Sassafras. Yes, Sassafras, I love that word. So, and then 30 people for the Preppy. As you can see here, the video this afternoon will be a Canwright Heritage, a Kaweco Sport, and a Fremantle handmade pen. So that's another kit pen. That'll be coming out in about 5 hours and 15 minutes at 2 p.m. my time. So let's go back to the camera. Had a busy week this week. I've had a really productive week. You know what it feels like when you get right into the swing of things. I've got, most of you will know I have a Mac app and an iOS app that I've got on the App Store called Penlist. What I've been doing this week is making some changes to it. Not a lot of visual changes. I just really managed to get right on this week and really get a load done. Well, I got more done in 1 week than I had done in the previous 3. So I've got that ready. I'm now going to be working with it myself and running it for a couple of weeks. I've got a couple of little things I've already identified, so I'll be fixing any little tiny things. So hopefully in about 2-3 weeks' time, the latest version will hit the App Store. Then I've got a really big change I want to make to it, all of it internal stuff, so people shouldn't see it. And this particular release is getting things ready for that. I've also been looking at my thumbnails and my intros and the slides that I have in things like my Fountain Pen Showdown, when I show body walk through and size comparison, stuff like that. And I've been making changes to them. Let me just pull up the screen again. Hopefully every time I go to the screen, it actually shows the screen this time. Let me see, can I get to the right place? Where did I put them? I thought, I'll put them there, then I'll remember where they are. No, I didn't put them there. Where did I put them? So anyway, and again, this is really, really interesting videos, isn't it? I moved them just yesterday and I can't remember where I put them to. Oh, I know. Anyway, I've been changing things up a wee bit. And I think that's what I want. No, it's not. I was going to show them to you. But I can't. Where did I put them? Trouble is, I've got two. I know where it is, I think. Videos, video cloud. Right, I'm going to check one more place, and if I can't find it there, then I'm afraid we'll move on. Personal. No, just can't find them. No, sorry. Anyway, you'll start seeing them over the next few weeks. I quite like them. I think they look a lot better than they were. I know how I can show you one. Let me just launch. I've worked out how to find where they are. I know, interesting, isn't it? So yeah, been really busy week this week. The other thing which I'm going to ask people for is I've also been making some. I'm looking at. Gary, just do one thing at a time. That might be the best bet. Open in Finder. Right, here we go. So this is an example. So the body walk through. What else have I got there? Got loads of files in here. Weights and measures. So just trying to add a little bit of something extra to them. And then same with my thumbnails. You'll notice there'll be some differences with thumbnails as well. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's go back. So the other thing I want to ask people, on Wednesday, I'm going to record an Ask Me Anything style video. The idea of the video will be up to maybe about 10 minutes long. I want you to ask me questions that I can put in there. So as we're going through today, either drop them in the chat or add them as a comment to this video, or to be honest, any of my other videos. It'll be monthly, but it'll be members only. So the first one will be for everybody, then after that it's going to be members only. So please send me questions that I can answer on it. I just thought, I'm trying different things. I'm experimenting with the videos that I do. Blonde Scales 1, back to the comments. My balance needs a friend. Oh, do you know, I've just been waving my hands there and you've been able to see what I've got on my screen. I hadn't pressed the button. Silly Gary. Sorry. I'm a bit strange like this. My wife really laughs at me. Whenever we go shopping and we're taking stuff off the shelf, if it's only going to leave one on the shelf, I can't. I have to put it in the basket and buy that as well, even if I don't really need it. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Tom, welcome to Steve. Andreas, not quite vintage pens, but I had a win on the Footy Grand Final yesterday and just purchased 4 more Lamy All-Stars. I'm only 2 models away from having everyone since they died. Awesome. That's a true collection, isn't it, when you're trying to get everything of one particular pen. Whereas, is it Stephen Brown? He had a really good video, I want to say about a year ago, about collections and accumulations. What I have is more of an accumulation rather than a true collection. I know we touched on this last week as well. So that's quite interesting. Alia Rose, nice. David, what is your and others' opinion on the frequency of cleaning piston filler pens? How often, and should you use distilled water or is tap water okay? I clean my piston fillers after each fill, but that's because I swap inks. If I was keeping the same ink, I've got to be honest, unless I was getting some issue with the flow, I wouldn't really clean it. My Vistos, this is, I know it's a vacuum or power vac or whatever they call it. My Homo sapiens, I love the Fireside Snug that's in here. So I'm keeping that same ink. So I haven't cleaned this for 3 fills so far. And because it's a standard ink, I think I'll wait till I've used all of the bottle. How much of the bottle have I got left? Well, I've still got about 3/4 of the bottle. So, yeah, but that's just me. I say after each one because I change inks. Tap water and distilled water, I think it depends where you live. And it depends on how hard or soft the water is. I just use tap water because it's cold water I use. So I just, rinse it all out. But yeah, some people may prefer tap water. Some people may prefer distilled. Depends, as I say, what the water is like where you live. Blonde Scales 1. All my AL Star. I like my AL Stars more than my Safari. I'm completely with you on that. All I really use my Safari for now is showing us size comparisons. I occasionally ink it up. I've taken the nib that was on there, and that's now on a Jinhao 80, which I've inked up just yesterday because I've got that for a video in a couple of weeks. A video I'm filming in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm with you. I much prefer the All-Star, or AL Star. I can never remember how it's called. Alia Rose. I may be really boring, but I love a nice medium lamy nib. They're just right. No, I don't think that's boring. My preference at the moment is for broad, but I do want to try a medium nib, and I may buy another. I'm not sure if I'll get an AL Star or a Safari then, to try a different Safari, but with a medium nib this time. Chris, I always have a preppy eyedropper with Diamine Royal Blue on my desk. Yeah, it's working really well. I can't remember the exact ink that's in here, but it's I believe it's a chameleon ink, and had no issues with blockage or anything like that. And like Chris, I've got it eyedroppered. Alia Rose, my tap water is is trash garbage, so I use bottled. Yeah, I say it depends what your water's like. David, to Alia Rose, me too. I've got a really medium Lamy Studio that writes really, really well. David, tap is fine unless you I cannot talk today. Tap is fine unless you clean in and ink with shimmer or pigmented ink. Yeah, even then I still tend to use tap water, but what I may do is pass the converter and the nib and feed through my ultrasonic cleaner, because I find, I don't know if it does, but I feel like that gets a deeper clean to it. Tom, to David, pen cleaned every time it runs out of ink, and some new pen is inked. Sometimes pen flush or dilute ammonia, basically the same thing is used. Do you know, I've never used pen flush. What I tend to do if I really, really need to clean something is I just put a little tiny drop of dishwashing liquid in with the ultrasonic and do it that way. Be careful though using ultrasonic. Certainly I wouldn't use an ultrasonic on my like the nicer looking pens. I wouldn't use it on celluloid. I don't have any celluloid. But you know, I've got one like my Visconti, the Homo sapiens I've just shown, that will never go through the ultrasonic, you know, because I don't risk damaging any material. David, only clean if I'm switching inks or storing. And then David, thanks Tom. Andreas, I love the Lamy All-Star, AL Star. It was my daily driver for 2.5 years and never missed a beat. Then the Pacific Blue came out, and that was my first special edition. My All-Star actually isn't inked up at the moment. I usually use that for titles because it's got a 1.5 nib. At the moment for my titles, I'm using my Twisby Eco, which has got a 1.1 stub. It just doesn't want to run out of ink. I may end up throwing the ink down the sink because I've been using this about 4 months and I want to get that Lamy out again. David, thanks. Blonde Scales 1, I clean my piston fillers when I finish the ink. If I was going to refill with the same ink, I probably wouldn't. David, Ali Rose, I'm in the same boat with my tap water. Ali Rose, I clean each time. I want to get the full experience of each individual ink, not a mix of residual stuffs blended. Yeah, the other thing that I do with piston fillers is, where possible, if it's one where I can remove the section easily and not lose bits, is I actually take the section off and then I use a blunt nose syringe and I inject water into the barrel, and I keep doing that as a way of cleaning out that barrel really well. You know, sometimes when you have to just work the mechanism, it can take ages to get them to really look clean. Blonde Scales 1, I use tap water. David, another thanks. Tom, pen flush is 1 part ammonia, 9 parts water, and a drop or so of dishwashing fluid. Yeah, so I say that's why I just use that, a little bit of dishwashing fluid. Ammonia is not that easy to get here, although I've never really looked for it. David, oh cool, thanks Tom, interesting. Klaus Peter, welcome to you. Aurora and Cleaner. Hopefully I pronounced that one right. Blonde Scales 1. While I'm not trying to catch them all, I think I have enough preppers and sports to call them a collection. Yeah, I've only got... No, how many preppers have I got? I think I've got 4. But what I did is I've got 2 with fountain pen nibs, and I've got 2 with like the felt marker type nibs. And the felt marker ones, I thought I would use them more than I would, use them as highlighters, but I don't, so they're uninked at the moment. Chris, pen flush is really good. I make my own. Alia Rose, pen flush was necessary. Pen flush was necessary along with the ultrasonic for 2024 Lamy Dark Lilac. Beautiful, but such a problem child. Yeah, I know what you mean there. I don't have that ink. It's not an ink that really screamed out to me, and I'm on my ink buying freeze. But yeah, I think we all have those inks which are just that little bit of a nightmare to get rid of. Chris, Twalia Rose, I'll remember that for when I get around to trying it. Marilyn, I almost never use pen flush or bleach unless I have a stained pen, and if I have a particle ink left over, I take it apart as best I can, give it a good scrub, and re-silicone the piston. Yeah, so that's what I was saying. If you can, and you're comfortable doing it, taking them apart usually is really good to actually do that. Atomic Elf 1 window cleaner here. That's a good idea. Like Windex has an ammonia component. I think some people use it as part of a pen flush. Chris, Garry, cloudy ammonia from Coles or Woolies. It has strength, so use it. 1.5 cloudy ammonia already. 1 to 5. Already has a surfactant, so you don't need to add it. That's one of the words I do struggle with. Thanks for that, Chris. I will have a look next time I'm shopping. I'll add it to my shopping list once I take the phone down after doing this video. I'll make a note here. Coles, cloudy ammonia. I've just made a note. Pen I'm using today, you won't see it in today's pen, is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Just refresh the comments and then we'll head over to the camera. Chris, half, not have. Sorry. It's half strength, right? That's why my brain wasn't working. Marilyn, I never had a problem with Dark Lilac, but I just gave away a noodleless Conrad that Diamine Winter Spice stained. It's so bad it wouldn't get clean with bleach or ammonia or anything. I do like Winter Spice. I like all my Diamine inks, but I like from Winter Spice. Got that lovely bit of a green tinge to it. Anyway, enough of Garry waffling. Let's swap on over to the iPhone. Sorry, my poor nose. I have terrible allergies all the time, so my poor nose runs. Okay, the pens I've been using this week. So for the whole week, writing my responses in my videos, this is the Delta Dune or Dune. I'm not sure how it should be pronounced. Piston filling pen. This is in Reflex. You would have seen my first impressions of this on Tuesday. Obviously, I started using this before Tuesday because the first impressions was filmed quite a while ago. Very nice, sizable pen. Fits nice in the hand. There's that gorgeous nib. So we've got here a Delta Dune with a broad nib. Price for this, you're looking approximately $222. All the twos, $222. The ink by Diamine, and it's Nightfall. No, it isn't. It's Nightshade. Been quite enjoying this. Now, when I did the first impressions, I made a comment in there about it didn't look like there was a lot of ink gone into this. It was just because it was really still showing all the ink that had. It wasn't. Oh God, and Bennett, Garry. I was wrong. It did get a nice full fill. It's just I wasn't able to see it because one of the things is this ink window. Yes, it's there. A bit too thin for me. I'd need it double the width really. But saying that, my eyesight at the moment is not very good because I've got cataracts, which do make looking at these little things quite difficult. So that's the Delta Dune. Sunday, it was a turn of the Pelikan M205 in blue marble. Very nice pen. My only quibble with this pen, it's just too short and thin for me. Still, it's really nice though. So we've got here a Pelikan. Beautiful nib to write with. It's a steel nib. I've got to be honest, writes better than most of my gold nibs. So this is the M205. Again, got a broad nib. Price for this, approximately 192 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine. And it's one more sleep. Again, another really nice ink. I then went to the Leonardo Ferrari in white salt. Beautiful. I love this white salt patterning. Hopefully the camera's focusing on that. Really nice. 1.1 stub. As I said in my video which came out on Friday, this is still a little bit scratchy on the sides, but I'm working on that bit by bit. So we've got here a Leonardo. Let's give it a little bit of a shake because it's got a, I think it's a shimmer this one. Could be a chameleon, but I think it's shimmer. So a Leonardo Ferrari with a 1.1. And this was 245 Aussie dollars. The ink, just put by Diamine. And it's Serendipity. Another very nice ink. Another very nice pen. Then we go to the polar opposite for a Jinhao 992. A dirt cheap pen. Beautiful. I love this green colour. I love the transparency. Again, the pen's a bit on the thin side. Posted, it feels clumsy to me, but it's usable, but I can just about get away unposted. So we've got here a Jinhao 992 with a fine nib. Why I don't mind this pen being so thin is this is $2.22. Dirt cheap. You know, you don't mind these little things when it's this cheap. The ink in here is by Diamine. And it's Velvet Emerald. Really nice, beautiful green colour. The next pen is a Kaweco Sport. This is in the green colour. I do have a Kaweco converter, which is in there. There you go. This is I believe it's, again, could be shimmer, but I think it's chameleon. Let me just agitate this as we're talking. I do like the sports. They're really good to carry around in your pocket. Let's move the paper up. Kaweco Sport. And on here I've got a broad nib. Price for this, 43 Aussie dollars. The ink by Diamine, and it's Merry and Bright. Merry and Bright. Love this ink. Really nice. I love it when the shimmer component comes out. Hopefully, will the camera catch any of that? There is a bit in there. This is a problem with these shimmer and chameleon inks. It's trying to show the shimmer and the chameleon. Very hard to catch on camera. Up next, do you know I've got another Kaweco Sport. This is in the transparent white. I don't think from memory, it's not the coconut one, it's just a transparent white. Again, I've got a shimmer ink in here. Because this is slightly transparent, what I've actually done is I've eyedropped this. So I've put a bit of silicone grease around the threads, filled it with my blunt nose syringe, and I just love it. So very similar to the previous one. You need to use it posted. So here we've got a Kaweco Sport with a 1.1 nib. Guess what? It's 43 Aussie dollars. Same price. Who would believe it? The same pen, same price. The ink is by Diamine, and it's Olive Swirl. I don't know what it is about this ink. It's meant to be, I think it's chameleon. I cannot, for the life of me, see it. All I can see is this beautiful, I love the base colour, I love this beautiful olive colour. But no matter what I do, I just cannot seem to get it to come out and show me that beautiful, chameleon. And I know it's in here because I can see it when it's been left to sit. And I always agitate my pens, and I agitate them as I'm writing. It's just really weird. Up next, we've got the Pilot Prera. Hopefully you can see here we've got this sheen, this gold sheen. This is also Diamine Serenity, which we saw with the Ferrari. Let me just agitate this. Another small pen. It'll all come next. October's theme is going to be small pens or pocket pens. You may have noticed the past few all being small or pocket pens. This one may run out of ink. What I've done with this, I've also eyedropped this. So again, a little bit of silicone grease around the threads. First time I've done this, and I've had no leakages whatsoever. So, it's been like this, about 6 weeks. So really pleased with that. This is another one, I need to use it posted. So we've got here a Pilot Prera. The section on this feels actually not too bad. It's got a medium nib. Price wise, you're looking at 76 Aussie dollars. I got this from Office Works. I think if you went to a stationery shop, you might get it a bit cheaper. And the ink, as I say, is Diamine Serendipity. I do usually see quite a lot of that chameleon or shimmer. Hopefully there it'll be catched in the light. I see more of that shimmer in here than I do in the Ferrari, even though it's the same ink. And the final pen for this week, make sure this is in view, is the Pilot E95S. Got to be one of my favourite pens, I've got to be honest. It's my cheapest non-Chinese gold nib. Really nice. Got a cartridge in here. I just refill the cartridge. Again, you have to use this posted, but when it's posted, it's a beautiful size. So we've got here a Pilot E95S with a medium 14 karat gold nib. Notice it's a lot wider than the line we see with the Pilot Pereira. I do find that this is a really nice, soft, generous nib. The price, 215 Aussie dollars. The ink, Diamine, Cinnabon. Beautiful ink, nice pale brown colour. Not exactly a match, but I don't care. I enjoy writing with it. This is a scented ink, and even now I'm getting a hint of that smell, that cinnamon type smell coming through to me. Goes away really quickly though. Beautiful though, I love that E95S. Swapping over back to the camera. Robin to Marilyn. I didn't know that about Winter Spice. Any suggestions for cleaning? Having a mouthful of drink there. Atomic Elf 1. If you've got a Parker 51 or 21, you should avoid using bleach. The nibs are a cobalt heavy alloy and bleach can cause corrosion. Atomic Elf nibs are tipped with. That's a good tip. Again, that's something you need to be aware of. Most nibs are tipped with, what is it? Iridium, which is a really hard metal. Some of the more expensive pens may be tipped with platinum, but yeah, most of them have got an iridium tipping. Why they do that is because it's very hard, so it's not actually going to rub off as you're writing. Even a gold pen most gold pens have got iridium tips, because gold is so soft that if you were using that, what would happen is you'd end up with friction, that's the word I'm looking for. It takes off a little bit of the gold each time you're writing with it. We're talking teeny tiny little bits, but over say 10 years that will add up. So that's why they've got iridium tips, or as I say, some got platinum tips or other hard metal tips. Blonde Scales 1. Trying to plot out my birthday shopping for October. So many choices. Yeah, I know what you mean. It gets a bit difficult, doesn't it? That's why, in a way, I've got to be honest, I avoid birthdays now. As I keep telling people, I'm 21. I may have been 21 for the last 34 years, but I'm still 21. Atomic Elf 1. Wait, no, I was right the first time. The nib is the alloy, tipping is ruthenium. Yeah, so there's another popular one, ruthenium. David, another neat trick I learned from Dan Zazovi, hopefully I pronounced that right, is to put a touch of WD-40 in the water when flushing a piston. Lost it, there we go, that's a bit better. Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm doing now. WD-40 in the water when flushing the piston fillers to keep the piston mechanism lubed up. That's a good idea. Don't leave it in long and rinse it well. Oh yeah, I would say definitely with that, because doing that is it will be a little bit of a bit oily and slicky. I would think I would avoid putting it on my nibs though, but that's just me. I don't know if I'll give that one a try, but might be worth thinking about. David, but it works like a charm. Annie Rose, my August birthday pen will finally arrive soon from Loft Pens in the UK. My husband ordered just as they went on vacation. It's got pink and green stripes. Awesome. I really do love my my handmade pens. Fall in love. You're really into diamine ink. I am, but two main reasons. One, diamine ink is so cheap. So for what you could pay for a 30ml bottle of diamine ink, is just a little bit more than what you pay for a 2 milliliter sample of another ink. So, I do have about 70% of my ink is diamine, but I'm also at the moment, and this is going to be, I reckon, at least for the next year, is I've got a load of ink vent, the little ink vent bottles. I've got 3 years worth of them, and I want to use them up. So what I'm doing now is whenever I'm inking a pen up, I use an ink vent I use an ink vent ink unless there's a specific reason I want to use one of my other inks. It's purely because if I don't, I'll never use them up. So it's focusing on using those up. Earlier this year, I had a load of samples, so I did the same thing. I focused on using the samples. So yeah, that's the reason why. Blonde Scales 1. Still need to try out my Kaweco twin nib. Yeah, I'd love to try some more Kaweco nibs. Blonde Scales 1. Nice. Blonde Scales 1 there, trying to use up the ink vent inks. Marilyn to Robin, I don't have any, I'm so sorry. Marie, I love the olive swirl ink. I do. It's a beautiful colour. I tried it initially in my Monteverde Ritma, but I find with the Ritma, it doesn't matter what ink it is. If it's a chameleon or a shimmer, I get terrible flow issues. If it's a standard ink, no problems whatsoever. Tom, to Atomic Elf, it is often said that nibs are tipped with iridium, but iridium is very rare and very expensive. So it's probably a combination of various platinum group metals. Yeah, I think I did a video about this, I want to say about 2.5 years ago, not on this channel, but on my Tricky Little Questions channel. Chris, have you tried the olive swirl on the Burroughs paper in the notebook I sent you? It does really well with the chameleon inks too. I haven't yet, obviously because this is going to be my pens in use for the next month, or some of those are. As part of that, I do try all different papers that I've got, so I will give that a try. Thanks, Chris, and I will report back if my memory remembers. Robin, well, I appreciate the information, forewarned and all that. Atomic Elf 1 to Tom. Parker marketed the tipping as platinum, but it's actually ruthenium, part of the platinum metal group and closely related to osmium. Don't you just love the names of all the various elements? And iridium. Yeah, so iridium, ruthenium, platinum, all in that same column on the periodic table. Alia Rose, I love the Cinnabon ink. I do. The only problem I have is I keep forgetting how to spell it, and I keep putting cinnamon and Cinnabon and all sorts like that. So I have to really look at my notes when I'm writing this. Z20 Table. Hi everyone, I just ordered my first fountain pens. Any tips for the fountain pen life? My biggest tip, have fun. That's really the key thing. Awesome. The other thing you may want to look at, obviously, is inks. Are you starting with cartridges? Are you going to go... And as things move up, so you get into the converters and buying inks. But paper is also another big thing to think about. I've got, for my note taking, I just use a dirt cheap notepad, but it doesn't really show the properties very well of that pen and ink. It's good enough for what I use it for. But for things like my journals, if I was doing something where I wanted it to look nice, that's when I would use nice paper. Miss Marilyn Darling, I put bleach in that pen for 3 days and it wouldn't budge. I don't know if it were the new Noodles Conrad, but I've had Winter Spice in a number of pens and haven't really had any issues with it. Let me just double check. Beauty of having my database and pushing my own stuff is I recall it captures what pens and inks I use. So Winter Spice, I'll just wait while the keyboard warms up. Come on, why aren't you working, you pile of useless stuff? Alright, let's try over here. I don't know, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? I'm just going on to my other computer. My Mac, which I do this on, is where I do my development, so it doesn't have the live data. So Winter Spice. So what pens have I had it in? So I've had it in my Pilot Custom Heritage 92. I've had it in a TWSBI 580, which was transparent. And I've also had it in one of my handmade pens, and I haven't seen any staining myself. So, yeah, as you say, it could be something to do with the Conrad. Atomic Tom to Atomic Elf 1. I've lost my mouse now. That's the problem with swapping over to the other screen. Probably not particularly pure ruthenium, but containing significant other platinum group elements. Currently, rhodium is about $500 an ounce. Blonde Scales 1, enjoy the journey and beware the rabbit hole. Absolutely. Tom, price of iridium about $170 per gram. Alia Rose, I'm 48 and okay with getting older. At least I made it this far, right? Absolutely. I was listening to something this morning and they said something about getting old gracefully, and I thought, absolutely not. I'm going to get old by kicking and screaming. Blonde Scales 1, better than the alternative. Yeah, I know what you mean. Chris, yes, paper is the next important thing after the pen itself. I was lucky with paper about 3 weeks ago on the Pen Addict. So I'm on his email list, and he does a weekly draw, and I think it was 3 weeks ago. It was for a taster pack for I think 5 different papers, and I won it. So I'm just waiting for that to arrive. So you'll see a video coming out about that, where I test out the papers. But I was ever so happy to win. I was overjoyed, I will be honest with you, because I don't often win anything. David, Noodler's Eel series has lubrication as does all versions of Parker Quink. Yeah, I'm not really a big Parker user. I do find if I seem to have an issue, I put in Pilot Irishizuku because I feel that works quite well. Santa, hello all, late as usual. Don't worry about that. You're here. That's the only important thing. Blonde Scales 1, good paper is important. Alia Rose, hi there, Santa. Atomic Elf 1, I didn't know Parker Quink was a lubricated ink. Chris to Miss Marilyn Darling, have you tried alcohol to shift the Conrad? It works for Bay Straight Blue. I know what type of alcohol you're on about, but I was thinking of a completely different type of alcohol, and I was thinking, I ain't putting my wine in a pen. Z21 Abel, thank you, Gary, Blonde Scales 1 and Chris. Robin, thanks for checking that out, Gary. I've just put Winter Spice in a demonstrator gin how. Hoping I have luck like yours. Marilyn, never put alcohol in any fountain pen. Absolutely. I was thinking of a different type of alcohol where it should be put in your mouth, not into a pen. But yeah, it's got to be so careful because it can interact, I think, with the plastics and stuff. Alia Rose, Monteverdi has lubricated inks as well. Blonde Scales 1, we don't need drunk pens. Yeah, absolutely. We just need a drunk writer. Robin, that's what I heard about alcohol too. TWSBI will melt. Let me just fetch up the next screen. I thought I'd prepared this one. I don't know. Let's run this. So, what's been going on in terms of my videos? So we go back to the screen, and hopefully you see the screen and not what we had a few weeks ago. So last week's videos. Sunday, as I've already said, we had the heat number 4, so we've now seen the winner of heat 4. Tuesday, That was that Delta Dune First Impressions. Really liking that. I know it's not a cheap pen. I think it's the cheapest Delta pen, but yeah, really enjoyable. And then Friday, we had my wrap-up of pens from September. Very hard month this month because it was European month. And it was one I've actually replied to somebody who put a comment on. And I was saying, you know, I nearly didn't rank them because they were so nice. But the idea with what I do is I rank the pens. So I did do that. Most of the times, it takes me about 15 minutes to do the ranking. For this one, it took me about 2 hours. That's how close it was. Next week's videos. So this week, so today, we've got heat number 5 of the fountain pen tournament. As I've already said, told you what the pens were, but looking forward to that. On Tuesday is my pens in use for October 24 introduction. So you've seen some of them already. Small pens, pocket pens. And then on Friday, got another first impressions, the Opus 88 Omar. Big pen. I'm going to switch back just quickly to the camera. It's a big, chunky pen. Very nice. What I'm actually doing, you'll see it's writing during the week because I've started using that for my responses for this week. But the actual first impressions will come out on Friday. And my book of the week. So I finished Carpe Jugulum. Really enjoyable. And then started The Fifth Element, which again is set, a lot of it is set in Uberwald. And so it's got vampires in it, it's got werewolves in it. It's Commander Vimes. It's good to see Commander Vimes getting out and about and still being himself, but in a completely different environment. Really enjoying that. So that's I want to say it's a City Watch book, but I'd say there's other things in there as well. Back to the camera. Let me close this down so I can get back to the comments. Marilyn, that's what I heard about alcohol. 2, Twisby will melt. Do you know what that's just popped into my mind? The Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy throws the water over the witch and she melts. Sorry, and I know it's these little things that put stupid things into my mind. Marilyn, isopropyl alcohol will melt your pen. Santa, the best part is the camaraderie you will find. Absolutely. There's loads on here. I say I do these every week. Ask any questions you want. You know, if I can't answer them, which, to be honest, I only know a little bit, we get enough people on here that we can usually crowdsource something. Tom, alcohol is okay for Ultim, but many Ultim pens have plastic feeds, so actually avoid it. Chris, if you use isopropyl alcohol, it won't react with the plastic. Just don't leave it in there. A quick flush to wash the noodleless stains out. Atomic Elf 1, many plastics are not safe for alcohol. If not outright melting, it can cause cloudiness or microfractures. Yeah, and over time that would build up. Z201, Santa, that's certainly the impression I've had thus far. In fact, this stream was recommended to me because of all the pen videos I've watched. Subscribe to Garry so I can catch more. Awesome, thank you. I love it that people are talking about these streams. That's absolutely brilliant. I started these, when I did my first tournament, I started them. I thought I'd only do them for the tournament just to announce the winners. I love doing them. Sorry, I forgot to highlight that, didn't I? There we are. I've highlighted it. I love doing these. I love being able to just chat. And to me, it really keeps me going. It's one of the highlights of my week. And I know we've been going for an hour already. Alia Rose, throw alcohol on your Twisby like holy water to heal the cracks. Actually, that might be a good idea if you've got issue with cracking. Not that I would recommend you do it, but, you know. Alia Rose, results may vary. Marilyn, don't forget to like the video. I know I'm terrible for pushing things like that. I tend to leave them right to the end of the video. Atomic Elf 1, oh, is that a smiley facey type thing? I'm not very much into being an old fart that I am. I do struggle sometimes with the pictures. David, what's the group's opinion on using Polywatch to polish pens? Born Sales 1, never heard of it. Same with me. I've not heard of it. It may be worthwhile if you know someone who makes resin pens, handmade pens like that. Might be worth maybe dropping, getting in touch with them, maybe on either social media. Just ask them. They may or may not want to help you, but most of the handmade pen makers that I've interacted with, very, very helpful. So it might be worth thinking about, because obviously they do polish a lot of their pens. Refresh the comments. Chris, Polywatch should be safe. It's made for acrylic watch glasses. Atomic Elf 1, I think it's Hemingway Jones that uses Polywatch. Ted, congratulations on 4,000 subscribers. Garry, thank you so much. I loved it. I know I put out a call last week, and so last Sunday I hit for the 4,000. I was ever so pleased. When I checked this morning, it was up to 4,013, which was awesome to see. Alia Rose, Polywatch is good stuff. Tom, for me, it's okay for restoration or dealing with a newly bought used pen, but I wouldn't make a habit of it using it regularly. David, thanks, Tom. Blonde Scales 1, still trying to pick my next Just Turnings pen. I know which nib that I want. Yeah, I've nearly got enough in the pen fund for another one. So I've got. I'm just thinking, am I looking at a focus there on the stream? I can't say a problem with having cataracts. I can't see. On my other two previews, I look all right. Yeah, it could be me though. It could be the that it's streaming to me in a lower quality. Let me try. Yeah, for some reason it's streaming to me in 144p rather than in high definition. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I don't look fuzzy now. Yeah, I've got. Obviously, I saved my YouTube money up, so hopefully after the next payment, which will be next month, I'll be able to afford. And I'm not sure if I'll go for a Just Turnings or that pen bloke, toying up between them. Marilyn, I'm up to 1,521 subscribers. Woohoo! Absolutely, it's awesome seeing numbers going up. I know it's only a vanity metric, but it's still, to me, it's something that's really good to see. I will be honest, some days when I look and I see the numbers gone down, usually by one or two, I mutter some rude words and say something about, oh, how could you do that to me? Blonde Scales 1, congrats, absolutely. I say subscribers, really important, obviously, but it's a vanity metric. And it's well, it's still worth, and I monitor mine daily. David, I got to meet David Oscarson and Kirk Spear at the Dallas show as well. Awesome, interesting day. I know that Texas is fairly big. I think from Texas that I know of, you've got Chris Signs and JG3 Reviews. I think they're both based in Texas. Robin Allen, congratulations, Marilyn. Marilyn, oh, I know how you feel, Garry. Absolutely. Marilyn, thanks, Robin. David, it will be 10,000 soon. Oh, I wish. What I've noticed is my subscriber count goes up by 1,000 roughly once a year. So it roughly takes about a year to grow by 1,000. It could be as I get higher, that might speed up. But certainly the pattern I've seen seems to be, I'd say, roughly 1 year. Being the person that I am, I have graphs and all sorts because I like to, I say vanity metric, but I still like to look at it, and I think I showed this the other week. Let me just fetch it up. There we no, that's the date. I want the graphs. So I have a number spreadsheet, and then I do a graph. So this is looking at over the last, I think it's the last 3 months on a weekly basis, how many I change by. So like this week, I've only gone up by 8, but last week was 30. And then going right the way back to the start of my channel when I started back in 2020, this is a monthly figure. The red is like an average based on the last 3 months. So you can see, you know, I have periods of growth, and then although it's growing, that growth has slowed down. I just like to keep an eye on that. I'm just a stats person. Let's go back to the camera and I can close that down. Marilyn, I've been doing videos for 20 years, December the 6th. Oh, wow, that's a lot of commitment, 20 years. You know, I was thinking there, you know, I've been going, it was October 2020, 21, 22, that's 4 years I've been going. I say about 1,000 a year. Robin, Kurt Spear rescued a pen for me at the Miami Pen Show in 2020. David, Kurt Spear is the best. Simply Orbs, hi there. Welcome to you, Simply Orbs. Simply Orbs is another YouTuber. If you're not subscribed to her, it's well worth doing. There's a daily one, which is like a daily motivational minute, and it's the first video that I watch every single day. So just to push somebody else. Miss Marilyn, hi Simply Orbs. Blonde Scales 1, hey, hey, hey. Simply Orbs, hi to Marilyn. Marilyn, and I'm still an unpaid intern. I know what you mean. It does feel like that sometimes. I was saying to my wife just yesterday, I've got three YouTube channels, but I now only make videos on this one. The other two, one's got 78 subscribers, and the other one, I think it's about a little bit better, about 150. But only 3 or 4 people watch the videos, so I've stopped making them because I said to her, you know, to make an average video can take anywhere between 4 and 10 hours for me. By the time I've researched, written the script, reviewed the script, filmed it, edited it, done all the uploading, written the description, done, you know, there's a lot goes into it. So I said, you know, for 4 people to watch it, I'm not going to bother. So at the moment, my other 2 channels are essentially on hiatus. I may start them up again, but I'm focusing on this at the moment. Marilyn, lol. Marilyn, I so love the community, not the pennies. Absolutely. As I showed you a few weeks ago what I get from YouTube on this, so I appreciate everything that people do. I'll do it now. Don't forget there's membership available. If you can afford to, please join as a member. That helps support the channel. So everything that I get through YouTube, so the membership fees, I get some money from all the ads that I played. That goes into my pen fund, and so that allows me to buy other pens. I would say I put in twice as much from my personal money as I do from the pen fund, but you know, it's there and it does help. And it's thanks to the pen fund that I've got that I'm going to be able to afford the Colorverse Color Vent. That's that new advent calendar from Colorverse. I bought the Diamond one for my own money. I thought I'd bought it from Pen Money, but I hadn't. I checked. So that's come from my own money, and the Colorverse one will come from the money for this channel. So it does help. It helps me buy new pens so that I can, you know, like the Omar. Somebody, a really generous, I don't like mentioning names, actually sent the money to cover the full pen. I was blown away. I was so grateful. You know, and a lot of my other pens, they you know, get either fully funded or partly funded from that. So it lets me do pens. Still buy Chinese pens as well. I just don't buy as many. But yeah, no, thanks for that. Simply Orbs, yes, having data is awesome for us engineers. I know what you mean. It does my wife's head in because I like data on everything. Tom to Simply Orbs, hello. Simply Orbs, hey there. BJ, hello everyone. Welcome to you, BJ. So we got a couple of hellos there. Okay, so I've already mentioned it. Membership, it's available. If you're able to help, everything helps. I'm really, really appreciative of everything that people do for me. And it really, I can't believe it sometimes. It's just quite emotional for me at times. Please hit that thumbs up button. As Marilyn said, every time you like, every time you comment, well, that just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I do 3 videos a week. Every day I do a short, which is where I show the pen and some writing that I've been doing that day. Membership is there as well. We do these lives every week. Don't forget, I want to do an AMA on Wednesday, but I don't have any questions yet. So please either email me, drop them in a comment. I'd love to get questions. As I said, they do not have to be pen related. And then what I'll do is on Wednesday, hopefully I'll be able to pick some of those questions and create an AMA. If not, I'll have to come up with questions myself, but that won't be as interesting as actually answering people's questions. So say they do not have to be pen related. You know, if they're pen related, that's fine. Pen and Alia Rose, thank you so much, Alia Rose. Very, very much appreciated for the pen fund. I love the generosity of people. Pen and sword. I got some tobacco sunburst for my Schaefer 100 coffee pen. I will be honest with you, tobacco sunburst by Diamine and Robert Oster Cafe Crema. They're my 2 favourite browns, and I alternate between them. They're very, very similar in tones. Robin, I just ordered my coffee pen. Blonde Scales 1. That Schaefer Coffee 100 is so pretty. Haven't inked mine yet. Marilyn, after you get off, I'm going live to show off what I got from the Pelican Hub. Come and say hi. Absolutely, everybody, if you can, head on over to Marilyn's channel. I watch, I'll be honest with you, Marilyn, I don't watch every video, but I love watching the Pens in Use. That's one that I watch every single week. I have it sat here on my iPad. I sit at my desk and watch it, and I think, and I get ideas for other pens I'd like from that. So, yeah, please do that. Any more comments? Blonde Scales 1. Don't drink coffee, but I have 2 coffee-themed pens. I allow myself 2 coffees a day. I haven't shown my mug today. Today we've got the Marvel with my peppermint tea. I have one when I get up, then I have one with my lunch, and that's my allowance of coffee. I used to drink more, but what I've found is I was getting like that, and if I had them too late in the afternoon, I would have trouble sleeping. So anyway, I've gone through all the, like, subscribe, comment, drop any comments, any questions for the AMA. I'd love to get them. That's all really I can think of. So let's do one more check to see if there's any more comments. Andreas, thanks for the video, Gary. Hope everyone has a great week. No, thank you all for joining. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do this because, if I was sat here talking to myself, well, that wouldn't be as much fun. So thank you all. I will leave the comments open whilst the outro video plays. Let's do another quick refresh. Have a great week all from Blonde Scales. Ricardo won't be able to come. It's already 3 a.m. BJ, coffee, Robin, good night all. Marilyn, see you all next week. Take care. Talk soon. Yep, have fun, everybody. And I'll talk to you again soon. And I forgot which button I was pressing.